Hello everyone, I'm Lulu, there's a chick, and today I'll be doing a comparison video between the 973K hydraulic loader and the 636 hydraulic loader. So these are both from LESU. This one has been assembled over here at Toucan Hobby, and this one is factory assembled. So both of these are upgraded versions of the original ones, as you can see, because we have these upgraded buckets and some rear rippers in the back. So now let's get into the video and let's see which one you like best. Alright, now let's take a look first and foremost at the buckets of these. So both of these are openable buckets, both upgraded. So this one obviously is going to be smaller on the 636, while the 973K bucket is going to be actually significantly larger. So let's just measure the width of our bucket. So that's going to be a 19 centimeter width. And then over here on the 973, we're going to get a 22.5 width. So of course, for the size of the buckets, the 973K wins in that category. But now let's take a look at the hydraulic cylinders that control the opening and closing of our upgraded buckets. So over here, you can see the LESU hydraulic cylinders, very easy, very accessible. But on the 636 over here, you can actually see that the hydraulic cylinders are covered by this metal plate, so they're basically protected, which gives the 636 a win on this one. Now coming up in the back of the bucket, you can see there's two parts here that connect to the hydraulic bucket, as well as two cylinders right on the top. So these all connect together. You can try and move it around and see. However, on the 636, we don't have that. We only have one part, which is this part that connects to the hydraulic cylinder that controls your bucket. You can see it move around. However, on the sides over here, we do have the same cylinders, two on each side, as well as on the 636, you do have two on each side. But what's interesting is this cylinder on top over here seems to be much larger than the two cylinders on the LESU 973K on this one. Now coming over to the tracks, of course the tracks on the 636 over here are gonna be smaller than the tracks on the 973K. So let's measure the length first. So the length of the tracks here on the 636 is going to be 26 centimeters. And then over here on the 973K, the length is going to be 28.5. And obviously, as you can see here, the width of both of these tracks for the 973K is way much larger than here over here, the 636. So you're going to get more stability on this one than you're going to get on the 636. So definitely this is going to be an upgrade. So now let's check out the measurements. So right here, we're going to get 4.5 centimeters on the 636. And on the 973K, we're going to get 5.5 centimeters in tracks. Now let's come up over here to the cabin. Obviously, the differences are already very clear once you just take a look at it. So over here for the 973K, you're going to have this awesome full metal guards on the front of the windshield, as well as some little guards over here on the first headlights on the top. And now over here, on the 636, there is nothing like that. There is no upgrade version for it to have this guard, as well as the guards for the headlights. But here's where the 636 wins. So you do have some side mirrors on the top over here that are just not available for the 973K. I have checked different model versions. We still do not have any side mirrors. So I'm not sure if that's a thing that you can upgrade or just doesn't have. But over here on the 636, of course, it does come with the side mirrors. Now on the roof over here on the 973K, you do get two rotating warning lights, but on the 636, we're only gonna have this one right here on the center. And now let's move on to the cabin interior. So over here on the 973K, you do have a full door with a window. And then over in the inside, it's going to be very, very detailed, something more than what the 636 already has. So over here, let's open both doors. You do have half of the door is a window, and then on the inside you do also have some details, but on this one I'm gonna give it to the 973K because it just seems to have much better stuff going on inside. Now coming over On the interior of the 973K cabin, you do have a detailed seat, you do have some lining in there, some designs, and of course the chair can be reclined. And of course you do have some metal brake pads and go pads over here, and of course a metal railing, so it's not fully just plastic in here in the cabin. So now coming over to the 636, there is not much design on the seat over here, so you can also get some recline on the chair, but there's not much space in the back as in the 973. And of course you do not get any brake pads or anything, so everything in here is just a plastic interior cabin. So I do think the 973K takes it on the interior design. And now let's take a look on the left side of both the 636 and the 973K. So over here on the 636, you do have only the cabin door that opens and this other extra door over here that can open, so nothing else can open. Even the cabin, you actually cannot flip this over. Now coming over to the 973K, you do have the cabin door that opens and another door here that's openable, and another door in the bottom that's openable, and you can actually lift the cabin off of this. You just have to push the lever here and you can see everything that is under the 973K, which is something that you do not have on the 636. Now for the right side, let's compare the 636 with the 973K. So the doors that open on the right side, you're going to start with this box over here, and on the inside we're starting this pin, the towing pin for the back, which I think is a really nice little addition that the 973K does not have, as well as this door down here that opens. The 973K doesn't have that either. And on the top we do have this door that opens, and inside that's your on and off switch that we have over there. Now coming over to the right of the 973K, over here we do not have any door that opens. This is actually just a decoration and this stays in place. And over here as well, nothing, but on the top we do have this one door that opens, and on the inside you're going to find your on and off switch right here. And now let's take a look at the back of the 973K versus 636. So right here on the 973K, one of the first thing I do notice is going to be the shovel. So you can actually have to buy this separately, but with the 973K, this is gonna come with it. So you do have a space already made for it, which we do not have here on the 636. No shovel, you have to buy it for this one. But for the 973K, no need to buy it. Now for the 973K, on the top over here, we do have this part that is not available on the 636, but the 636 does have this really large full metal exhaust pipe that we do have here on the 973K, but it's way smaller than what we have on the 636. Now on the top over here in this part, of course we do have an antenna for this one, and of course our rear lights are going to be located inside, fully protected. But on the 636 over here, we do have our rear lights on the outside. You can actually adjust them as well to whichever position you want them to be. So that's a win because you can adjust them, but over here it's a win because you're not gonna break them. And now on the 636, we do have another light over here on the back. This part is just for a rear light, but on the 973K, obviously we have nothing on top over here. So I do like more lights. Please, let's add a light on this one. I would love that. And now over here on the side of the back, we do have this door that opens this way on the 973K. So you can see your battery over here, and you can also see the the volume control knob right in there. And now on the 636, we do have a door on the sides too, but this door opens upwards. And you can see your battery over here, but there is no volume control on this side. Now, obviously, in the very end, in the back, we can open our doors to the battery compartment. So right on top over here, that's where you put your battery. And of course, once you close this part for the 973K, you do have a notch over here that you can use to tow things or anything, but you do have, I think, to tie something to it instead of just using a towing pin. But over here on the 636, you do get a towing pin over here that you can just easily connect. You don't need to tie anything up. And of course, this is going to be your battery compartment. It's much smaller of a space than the 973K on the inside. And now in the back over here, you do have your Reaper, of course, because this is both our upgraded versions, both on the 636, you do have a Reaper, and on the 973K, but obviously the 973K Reaper is just that much larger and that much well designed. I mean, look at this. That thing will drag through the dirt very easily, and of course, I'm gonna measure its size. So you're gonna get about 17 centimeters in size for the Reaper on the 973K, while the one on the 636 is only gonna be around 15, 16 centimeters over there. So it is significantly smaller over here and much larger over here. You do have these parts on the construction, but on the 636, you do not have that. You just have the hydraulic cylinder sitting over here. All right, now let's get to the most important part of all hydraulic RC models is how are you gonna put the hydraulic oil into your hydraulic loaders. So actually for the 973K, all you have to do is flip the door open over here, pull the lever, open it up. Let me turn this around. And you're gonna see right over there, that's where you're going to inject your hydraulic oil. Just need to unscrew that bit over there and then inject it. And then close everything up nice, and you're ready to go. But for the 636, actually, we cannot open up this cabin. So you'd need to literally disassemble the screws on the front over here to get to the oil tank for you to add hydraulic oil. So that is actually such a big problem, I think, for me. They should have added a way for you to be able to easily do that, but you need to disassemble this entire part. All right, now let's go to the most obvious difference, which is the size and the weight. So now I'm gonna measure the weight of the 636 first. It doesn't matter how much smaller it is, it's still gonna be heavy for me. So right over here, we're going to have it at 11.4 kilograms for the 636. Okay, here we go again. And now let's measure the 973K's weight. I'm not looking forward to lifting this, but I have to. Okay. Oh my God. All right. And that weighs in at 12.86 kilograms. Actually, that's not a very big difference. That's like, what, 1 to 2 kgs of difference. But I think, of course, this one is bigger and heavier than the 636. And also for the 973K, the RTR version comes with this ST8 controller right over here. However, for the 636, you do not actually get any controller. You have to request us to give you what controller you would like. Now, I already have the ST8 controller on, so let's turn on the 973K. Okay, so I already had some of the buttons tasted. So over here we do have our warning light, so let's turn that on. You do have a few different things you can actually switch on, the different modes of the warning lights. But let's just keep it here for now. And now the sound. Of course, and then we've got the tracks forwards over here, backwards. Pretty smooth. You can also rotate. Steering is very easy. Oh my God, I almost hit myself there. Has to be one of the easiest models to steer actually when it comes to loaders. Let's check out the Reaper in the back. It is very quiet, very strong. Let's bring it back to the front. Over here for our openable bucket. It opens up pretty wide actually. That's really good clearance over there. Put it down, lift it up. The motor or the pump in this one is so quiet, the hydraulic pump. You can barely hear it. And of course, you can dump it. Whoa. The controls are very, very sensitive for this one. Let's see if we can lift it. Yeah, you do have strong enough hydraulics in the bucket to also lift the entire weight of the loader. Alright guys, now that was the 973K hydraulic loader from LESU and the 636 hydraulic loader also from LESU. So which ones do you like best? And of course, don't forget, this is our customized painting from Toucan Hobby. It comes in this nice black and white color, so if you'd like this one, please contact me. We can also customize the colors of the 636 as you would wish, but of course this is the newer version that was just released this year, and this has been around for a while. So you're going to get like very upgraded maybe motors and everything that are inside this beauty rather than the 636. So if you would like to get either of these models from me, please contact me and I'll leave my contact information with you guys. So please get in touch and we can talk more about this. If you need any more information, just let me know and I will guide you through everything. So thank you guys for watching the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!